How to get a good double stroke roll. Double stroke rolls can be a bit of a tricky rudiment because there's 3 different techniques depending on what speed you're going. At the slowest speed, you're doing a wrist stroke. Now I'm going to skip the medium speed for a second. Let's talk about the super fast speed. When you want to go super fast, you primarily grip the stick with either your first finger or your middle finger, and your arm is going to pump, and every time it does, you're going to get 2 notes. And that lets you do stuff like this. It's the medium speed, that's the one that's really tricky, because at that speed, you have to rely on a wrist and then finger stroke. So when your stick goes down, you open your fingers and then snap them shut. Now the issue is a lot of people do this backwards. They'll do fingers wrist, and what that looks like is you'll see them open their fingers when they throw up the stick, and they'll do fingers wrist. And that gets a really slappy sounding roll. It's just really sloppy. Or the other thing that people do is they'll do the finger only technique from the fast roll speed, and they'll try to apply it to the medium roll speed, and that doesn't work super well. So it's really slappy and not very even. So you have to master the wrist fingers technique. Now a good way to practice this is to make sure that your fingers are closed when the wrist is up, and then practice just opening the fingers after the first hit. Open. So back to closed, open. One more time, open. And then snap the fingers. Wrist, fingers, wrist, fingers, wrist, fingers. You want to de-emphasize the first stroke and really snap the fingers as hard as you can on the second stroke so that it has a hope of being relatively even. Once you get that, you can apply it to stuff like double beat, which normally people do all with wrist, but you can do it with the wrist fingers technique also, and then start applying it to rolls, but do it at a slow speed, like a speed you could probably all wrist, but do the wrist fingers technique at the slower speed. And then gradually speed it up so you get that nice medium tempo. What tips do you have for double stroke rolls? Or what do you want to see next? Let me know in the comments below.